Hey VC, this is Ron. It's a nice Sunday afternoon, just sitting here chilling, listening to some classical Japanese koto music. And yeah, if you guys have never heard this before, try and search some out. It's just really nice, relaxing music. It's got kind of a sight vibe going on it. Pretty cool. What I want to do today is I want to show some albums that are still in the original shrink wrap and still have the original store stickers on them. And I've got a pretty good pile here. There's mainly 60s, but there's also some early 70s stuff. So let's get going. We'll start off with Little Richard. Sings his greatest hits recorded live. And this one's from 1966. It's on the Modern label. And this is a real good live album. And I saw Little Richard a little over 10 years ago here in Phoenix, and it was the last time that he came here. So yeah, I was really lucky to see him. He put on a fabulous show. He was 70 years old at the time, and the guy was just great. And I guess it's always been part of his stage act. If somebody would yell out something that he didn't like, he would say, "Oh, shut up." Or if somebody yelled out something he did like, he would say something like, "Oh, I hear that." So I always known that Little Richard thought of himself as the king of rock and roll, even above Elvis. So after one of the songs, I yelled out, "Little Richard's the king!" And all of a sudden I heard, "I hear that." So yeah, he was quite funny, and just what a great performer. This next one is Moby Grape's first album, and this is the censored cover with the bird finger censored off, airbrushed off. And the original price on this one was $2.99, and see if I could get the sticker there. And you'll notice it says Tower Records, so that's pretty rare. I've never seen an early Tower sticker like that. This next one is Jimi Hendrix, his first album, and it's got a price of $3.39 on it, and it's from FedMart. And FedMart was a local department store here in Phoenix. They actually might have been national, I'm not exactly sure, but they closed down about 1980. This next one is the first Quicksilver Messenger service. This is an original on the black label, and it's got a Skaggs drugstore sticker on it. And Skaggs was kind of similar to Walgreens, and they closed down here in Phoenix. I think it was in the 70s, and the list price was $4.79, and then it had another price right here, but it's been inked out, so I can't tell what it's at. This one's from Kmart, $2.67, and this is creamed Israeli gears. I've had this of them a long time, like about 30 years. This one is the Magic Christian soundtrack with Peter Sellers and Ringo Starr, music by Badfinger. Great movie. I love this movie, and it's on the Commonwealth label. And it's got a price of $3.99 from Charts Records. I do remember Charts. They were here in Phoenix in the 70s. And this one I've shown before. It's West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. First album, and it's got a Walgreens price of $3.59. Now, one thing I've noticed when I've looked at over these albums is that back then, prices for albums were all over the place. It depended on the manufacturer and where you bought them. Some were high, some were cheap. You know, it was crazy. This next one is Birds 5D, mono copy, and the price on this is $2.98. This is the Rolling Stones, Between the Buttons. And the original price on this was $3.29. This is a mono copy with the between the buttons little mini bumper sticker type thing on the shrink. Very cool and very sought after item by Stones collectors. And this next one is Iron Butterfly In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, and this is their second album, and it's got a price of $3.97 on it. And there's a sticker here that says Home Center on. That may have been a store, I don't know, or don't really know. And this next one is from Bill's Records. They were a record store here in Phoenix, and they were located at Christown Shopping Mall. I don't think they ever had a store all to themselves. I think they were always located in the mall. At least that's the way I remember them. And this has a price of $3.98, which was probably pricey. And it's an incredible string band, the Big Huge. It's on the tan Electra label. This next one is Candelo Phase 1, and this is a sealed copy, and you'll notice that this has the letter code on it, and it's got like a little flap that would be torn off at the cash register. It's perforated right there, and that's still intact. And Mike Candelo was a local figure here in Phoenix. He started out on a great legendary kid show here, the Wallace and Ladmo show. They were on for 35 continuous years. They hold the record for the longest running kids show. Just a wonderful show. Not only was it kids, it had adult satire and humor. I mean, stuff that went way over above the kids' heads. And I grew up watching the show, and it was just really a great show. They do have a website. You can go online and check them out. And Mike Candelo released some records here locally. Out of the show, Commodore Candelo's Salt River Navy Band, and he had a track on Pebbles 3, The Acid Gallery, I believe, Soggy Cereal. And that song is actually from one of the Wallace and Ladmo records. And this album came out in '68. It's just been reissued by Sundazed, and it has William Spooner on guitar, who of course is Bill Spooner, who would later go into the Tubes. So yeah, Mike Candelo, he was the first hippie I ever knew as a kid. This is the Glass Family, and I've shown this before, and it's got the same sort of, obviously from the same store, same sort of price code sticker on it. And this is another one that I've showed. This has got a price code sticker of D. No store name on it. It's the first fraternity of man. Okay, this next one is Alice Cooper, Love It to Death. And it's pretty amazing this one's still in the shrink because this has a gatefold cover. It's got a price of $2.75 on it. There's no store name. And this is actually a third state cover. The originals were censored, and then after they were, when they were censored, they came out with big bold white strips on the cover, and then they reverted back to the original style for this one, which is third state. This one is The Mothers of Invention, Absolutely Free. This is another gatefold that's still in the shrink, and this is from Independent Record Promotions in New York. and it's got their address and their telephone number. I imagine it was a record store, and it's got a price of $4.29 or any 2 records for $5.95. So that's a pretty cool thing. And this next one is the Hombres. Now we're getting down into the budget record stuff that hit the cutout bins and markdown stuff. Okay, this next one is the Hombres. Let It Out, Let It All Hang Out. And this is their only album, and it's got a sticker price of $2 for $1, and even that was crossed out, so they might even have marked it down even more than that. Who knows? But pretty good album, you know. I love the hit. It's awesome. This is the Glass Prism, and this is their second album from 1970. It's on the Orange RCA label, and this is a good album. I've never heard the first one, but this is actually a good album. Kind of, I haven't listened to it in a number of years, so it's going to be hard to describe. But I remember it's kind of sort of early proggy sound, I think, and pretty cool. It's got a price of 39 cents, and even though, well, it does have a cut corner. This is a pretty rare album here. It's the Kinks' it's the Great Lost Kinks album, and it came out in '72, I think. And it's marked down to $1.99, and the amazing thing is it's not cut out. There's no cut marks or drill holes, but it was still marked down to $1.99, so that's pretty rare, because usually you'll find it with a hole or a cut corner or something on it. But this album was only in print for a really short time, so it's quite hard to find. And it's got stuff that was released, but a lot of this stuff is previously unreleased tracks. You know, it's got some B-sides and stuff, you know, rare. It's basically a rarities album. But yeah, it's pretty glad to get this, man, 'cause it's got the original insert. Okay, it's dated 73, so it came out in 73. It was put together in 72. It's when the liner notes are dated. Yeah, this is essential for any Kinks fan. And, you know, I mean, it's called the Great Lost Kinks album, and it's rare. So that makes it, you know, even more attractive. This is another soundtrack album. It's Revolution, and I've never seen this movie. I don't know if it's on YouTube or not. I never looked. And it's on the United Artists label. And this is cool because it's got some rare Quicksilver Messenger Service and Steve Miller Band tracks. Quicksilver Messenger Service does Codeine, and they also do Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. Two fine tracks that weren't on any of their regular albums. This one is Animalization, The Animals, and this is a mono copy. Okay, I got a little note here written on the sleeve. It says, "This LP comes in true stereo, except Inside Looking Out, which is rechanneled." So this is good to have for inside looking out, because on the stereo version it's rechanneled. This is High Tide Stereo Special, 57 cents. I've shown this before. Just great UK prog album. I've shown this one before. David Stoughton Transformer. Kind of broke pop psych. 44 cents. Promo Records. I guess Promo Records was probably the name of the record store. I never heard of it though. And this last one is the Door Soft Parade, and it's got a sticker on here from Pacific Records in Hollywood, and it's got the original list price, and then this was a cutout version for $1.98. And to be honest with you, when I got this album, it had the red Electra label with the big E, the second pressing, and I needed a nice cover to go with this. The original tan label, which is quite rare, and so I found the cover and I just switched the records. So actually this cover, like I said, it came with the red label, but I put the gold label in it, and it's still in the shrink, which is cool, and it's gatefold cover, so that makes it even more attractive. Oh, I forgot to show this. It's an ad for the Mothers of Invention, absolutely free, and I wanted to show that it's a copy out of a magazine, so I wanted to show that. And okay, I'm going to show some pictures I took of the Kinks in 1981 here at Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, and they're not very good, you know. But it kind of gives you an idea of how close I was to the band. You notice the range and distance between this picture and that picture of Dave. That's because here they had like a little runway that stretched out into the audience, and Dave's at the end of the runway right there. So I was kind of like right at the end of the runway. I never really got a good picture of Ray because he always stayed over there on the far side. He never came over to the runway at all, which is kind of unfortunate. Otherwise I would have gotten a good picture of him. Okay, that's all I took, and the Ramones opened up for these guys on this tour, and me and my friend were way up into the back seats for them. I was not a Ramones fan, and my friend hated them, so we kind of hanging out in the back of the building during that time. I kind of regret it, but I just was not a Ramones fan at that time, so that's the way things go. But at least I did see them. So that's it for this time round, and catch you guys later.